to your clothing line for a minute. Okay, so you developed some sportswear. It's affiliated with the NFL. Explain that little
Yeah.
of your life there.
Okay, well, I used to be on the practice squad with San Francisco and with New England. I played in NFL Europe. Unfortunately, I was trying to get onto a team. It's nothing but politics. They always, sign a big sign, the players first and things like that. And, we can't hit, Steve Young. We cannot hit, certain players and things like that. If you do, you get cut. I played in NFL Europe. But my uncle, Irvin Fryer, my cousin is Michael Strahan and things like that. So I come from a royalty of football players.
Wow. So how'd you design the sportswear line? Was that just you saw there was a need there for a line, or?
No, I was mad at my fiance, my daughter's mother at the time. And, and so she started going, making gorilla sounds, like banging on her chest and making me madder. And so I was like, I just looked at her like, she said, look at you like a silverback. And I looked at her and I stopped and my brain just clicked. I walked away from her, walked upstairs to my office, closed the door. 3 hours later, came out with sketch. And I said, there you go. And it started, believe it or not, it started off from there.
Oh, wow. And is it still going? Can people still buy your line? Yeah. Okay. Where's your sports line? What's it called?
It's called Silverback Congo with a K.
Okay.
Sportswear. And I had my website up, and believe it or not, people are kind of smart. They hacked my website, so I have to build another website. But I have a couple of athletes wearing my gear. It's out there. It's comfortable. This is the second generation of it.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of it. And since I'm driving my truck and things like that, I don't have that much time to actually put into it, as you probably know, because, you got so many things to do. So, and trying to meet a deadline for my novel.
Yeah.
So, I do it on my own, and, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
I'll send you some shirts. Just let me know what size you wear, and I'll make sure that Toronto, you represent the Congress.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's transition into your novels, okay? Because apparently designing sportswear and driving a truck doesn't take all your time. I don't even know how you do it. You've got a couple novels out. You just said your third one's coming out here. Tell us about the other two. I think they're called Images and what's the other? Go ahead, explain them. I know one is Images. Issues, right?
Issues. Yeah, Issues is the number one. I've sold over 65,000 copies of both novels.
Okay.
And they're still being sold now in, matter of fact, worldwide. Right. And it's being translated. And right now, a friend of mine who I went to school with is part of the head of creativity for Netflix. Okay. And they want me to write a treatment for my first novel. That's kind of hard for me to do because I can't write a treatment, so I have to pay somebody to do that. Right. But the novel is about, is a psychological thriller. It's a female version of Jason Bourne.
Okay.
It's about a female psychiatrist who has a split personality. Her other half is a contract killer.
Okay.
But there's a difference. But there's a twist. There's a twist to it. It's like when you go to sleep, you're conscious, but when you go to sleep, your subconscious take over.
Right.
But the difference is in my novels, which one is which? Okay. Which is real? Your subconscious or your consciousness?
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Do the two novels work together? Like, is it all a series where it's continuing, or are they independent novels?
No. If you notice a small I in front of all my novels, it is a series.
Okay.
Like the third one is about to be released later on this year. It's called Identity.
Okay.
And everything is tied up into the characters.
Okay.
And it's very fast paced. I had a couple of famous authors look at it and liked it. James Patterson, for one. Yeah. James Patterson, he liked it and gave me some advice on the third novel.
Okay.
I'm very excited about it.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so here's what America wants to know. North America wants to know. How the heck are you doing all this stuff driving a truck? Because most guys are complaining they don't have enough time driving. Like, I mean, I drove for 25 years. So driving is a long day and you're not always, so even if you have time at the end of the day, who's up for that? Like, you just want to go to bed. How are you finding the time to do all of this stuff? This is amazing.
See, most people normally think with two sides of their brains. I think with four. I can literally drive for like 8 to 9 hours in silence.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it's like when I'm driving, I'm literally, it's weird how I'm a very analytical person.
Yeah.
I think of things in my head and I play it out, and it's played out in my head. And all I do, James Patterson just told me, he said the biggest thing authors or new authors could do is that when they write, they tend to stop, and try to fix things. Yeah. He told me, screw that. Just write.
Yeah.
Okay. Just write. And that's exactly what I do. I could drive for 8.5 hours and I could come up with 6 chapters in my head and literally type it out.
Yeah. How do you remember them all? Are you speaking into some kind of recorder device as you're driving down the road? Because I'm the same way. I'm a cartoonist. I come up with an idea. Man, it will keep you up at night if you do not write that down or let it out somewhere, right?
True.
So you know,
and
I know 100 musicians that all do the same thing, keep a pad beside their night table, whatever. So how are you remembering all of this? Because you've got to, if you're continually coming up with new ideas, you might change the story so many times.
Well, yeah, that's true because like I said, I have a memory. And I know where I want to go. I said the biggest problem is, in North America, please do not take this wrong, is killing somebody in my book. There's only a certain kind of way a character can actually die off in a book. Right, and what I try to do is I try to come up with creativity to try to do it, but do not use it in real life, people. Okay? Yeah. So, but, you're absolutely right. I mean, my brain doesn't stop. I have I will literally be asleep, and then all of a sudden, bam, I'll wake up. And like, oh, and I write it down, and then I mind map it. That's what I normally do. I circle it, and then I mind map it.
Yeah. What got you interested in writing the novels? Is it just you had time to waste? You said, okay, I've done everything else. I'm going to do something new. Why the novel? You watched a good movie. What got you started with that?
See, I listen to audibles.
Okay.
While I'm driving. Yeah. My favorite author right now is Vince Flynn.
Okay.
He died way too young. I don't know if you know him or not.
No.
He's Vince Flynn. He's the one created Mitch Rapp.
Okay.
It's like espionage and things like that. And to me, it's like the narrator who I listen to, where literally he could portray his voice. His name is George Waddell.
Okay.
And he could portray different voices and things like that. And then what I normally do is when I create a character, my character doesn't have a race. Right. It could be anybody. Right. I literally will put you in the book.
Okay.
You will literally, if you're looking at something or you're fighting someone, you're literally in that book.
Oh, okay.
So it's very fast paced. I get you on the first chapter and I keep you there.
Yeah. So truck driving has to be an awesome way of writing a book because you're meeting people all the time and you're going, this receive. How many shippers or receivers are in your book that have been killed off?
Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm so glad you said that because that's the second time we on the same page. I have a famous saying: if somebody ticked me off or a company that I just left, and I told them, I said, you know what? You keep it up, I'll make you famous.
I got a couple for you.
And they wonder what I'm talking about. I would literally make you ask my ex-wife. She's in my second book.
Yeah. Well, you gotta be careful with the kids there. Anyway, that's good for you.
But she's a man, though. No. She's a man. Yeah, I just changed the gender. Yeah,
I think that's amazing. And one of the reasons I started this podcast is because trucking has such a bad name across.
Yeah,
people don't understand unless you're in it, right? And
right.
I see people like yourselves, people like Kelly, who are doing good things, and they're not just sitting there bumping down the road. They're actually creating other lives for themselves. And I think that's so important what you're doing. I used to do that myself through my cartoons and stuff, and people don't realize that. And all of that stuff is now what I do for business. I stopped driving 12 years ago, but I am still using all of my trucking. I'm still very involved in the industry. In fact, I'm going to a truck show this afternoon to cover it. So
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing what you do. So we've got the novel coming out. What's next? What's in the future?
Well, I'm planning to retire. I'm planning to retire at the age of 54.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got a couple of meetings, with Dick's Sporting Goods and things like that. That's to get the, my product into the stores. I got venues. I got, my number one goal is to see my products in Walmart.
Yeah.
Once you hit Walmart, you can retire. Yeah. Okay, boom. That's it. I'm done. I'm done driving. Bye. Because driving, truck driving is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Especially now they about to change the rules about having 18-year-olds. I cannot picture an 18-year-old driving an 80,000-pound truck. That's kind of, I'm like, no. Especially when I see people driving a truck and have their feet on top of the dashboard. How can you drive with your feet on top of the dashboard?
That's right.
It's weird, but I'm planning to retire by the age of 54.
So did you get into the trucking industry because you were, you just needed a job? How did you get into the truck? Because you've done, from professional football to all the other things you've done. Yeah. How did you get into that?
Believe it or not, I lost my father, and I was going through a divorce with my second wife. I consider, to me, believe it or not, driving a truck is like my sabbatical.
Yeah.
Okay. I love my kids. I love my daughter. I can spend time with her, but when I'm on a day off, I can't wait to get back to work to relax. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does for me, because I went from driving to supervising a fleet, and then out on my own. And, when I was supervising the fleet, which is where I thought I wanted to go, I wanted to be the manager of this fleet for Canada. I thought, man, I love just driving when I don't have to answer a phone. You can control your thoughts, what you listen to, where you're going. That's for me. I understand.
Right. Yeah. And then if I don't drive, it's like, cause my body is so attuned to what I'm doing. It's like, even if I'm on my day off, I mean, it's like my brain is like, boom, I could be making money right now.
Yeah.
Because I go from Dallas to Conway, Arkansas every day.
Right.
So I travel the same highway every single day. But to me, I always see something new. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Even though you're going the same place every single day, you can always, you pick up something new.
Yeah. That's because you're creative. That's because I do the same thing as an artist. I can walk through the same park and see a different tree or a different leaf or a different animal, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. And people call me weird, but to me, it's like my sabbatical. I mean, it's like I could just drive for hours in silence. Yeah. And sometimes it could be a catch-22, because if you drive in silence and the way my brain works, the bad things that happen in my life and things like that, it always comes back to me. But at the same time, it drives me. It fuels what I do. Yeah. Okay. So before I leave this planet, I want to make sure that my kids are taken care of, and I never burn any bridges, So that's my whole thing is I cannot stand if somebody do not like me. If you don't like me, that's fine, but I want to know why.